What's the wildest thing you've seen a parent allow? I thought I'd seen bad parenting before. Then I went to a wedding. It was my cousin's big day. Outdoor venue, white flowers everywhere, soft music playing. The kind of setup people spend months planning. Everyone was dressed up, smiling, taking photos, and right in the middle of it all was him, a little boy, maybe 7, running laps around the reception area like he'd just been released from a cage. At first it was just annoying. He'd weave between servers carrying drinks, nearly knocking over trays. He bumped into guests, didn't apologize, just kept going like it was a game. People laughed it off. You know how kids are. I tried to ignore it too. Until he grabbed a handful of cupcakes from the dessert table. Not one, a handful. Frosting smeared across his fingers as he licked them, then casually shoved the rest back onto the tray like nothing happened. I looked around expecting a parent to rush in. That's when I saw her, sitting at a table nearby, legs crossed, calmly sipping her drink, watching him, not distracted, not unaware, watching. I walked over, trying to keep my tone polite. Hey, I think your son is touching the desserts with his hands. She glanced over for half a second. He's just excited, she said, like that explained everything. Before I could respond, a loud crash cut through the music. We both turned. The boy had climbed onto the gift table. Glass shattered across the floor, one of the decorative centerpieces, completely destroyed. Guests gasped. The bride's mother rushed forward, horrified. And the kid? He was laughing. Actually laughing. Ma'am, I said, a little sharper now. He's going to hurt himself. She sighed like I was the problem. He needs to express himself. I don't believe in suppressing children. I just stared at her. Because at that exact moment, her son picked up one of the wedding cards, opened it, pulled out the cash, and waved it in the air like he'd just won something. That's when everything snapped. The groom's brother rushed over, grabbing the envelope from his hand. Hey, that's not yours! The kid screamed. Not cried, screamed. High-pitched, full meltdown, throwing himself backward onto the table. More gifts toppled. More things broke. The music stopped completely. Every single person was watching now. And finally, the mom stood up, not to apologize, not to discipline him, but to yell at us. Why are you touching my child? She snapped at the groom's brother. He was stealing, someone said from the crowd. He's a child, she shot back. He doesn't understand money. He understands grabbing things that aren't his, I said before I could stop myself. Her eyes locked onto mine, cold. If you don't like being around kids, maybe you shouldn't come to family events. That did it. The bride, still in her dress, heels sinking slightly into the grass, walked straight up to her. I've been patient, she said, voice shaking but controlled. But your son has ruined my cake table, broken decorations, and just tried to take our wedding gifts. Silence. You need to leave. You could feel the tension snap in the air. The mom laughed. Actually laughed. Overreacting much? He's just playing. The bride didn't smile. Leave. Now. For a second, I thought she'd argue again. But then people started stepping closer. Not aggressively, just enough. Enough to make it clear. This wasn't negotiable. She grabbed her son's arm, hard, this time, and dragged him toward the exit, while he kicked and screamed. And for the first time all day, he looked scared. Not because of what he did, but because suddenly there were consequences. As she passed me, she muttered under her breath, "This is why people hate being around you." I almost laughed, because as the doors closed behind her, the entire wedding let out this collective breath. The music slowly started again. People began fixing what they could, and the bride's mom, still holding a broken centerpiece, just shook her head and said, "No, this is why people hate parents who don't parent."